You sued your doctor for medical malpractice, claiming that his carelessness was a cause of your injury. And now, during the course of your lawsuit process, the doctor is now going to be questioned by your attorney in a procedure known as a deposition, which is really a question and answer session given under oath. And the question that you have is, do you want to be in the room with the doctor, with your attorney, with the doctor's attorney, to make sure the doctor tells the truth and is not lying in response to the questions that your lawyer is going to be asking? You want to know the answer? Come join me as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. Okay, so now you brought a lawsuit against your doctor claiming that he was careless and that his carelessness caused you significant harm and injury. And now your attorney has a qualified, board-certified medical expert who confirms all of those things. That's what permitted you, that's what allowed you the opportunity to go forward with your lawsuit. So now the doctor turns around in response to the allegations that you have made and says, "Why are you suing me? I did nothing wrong." And then he says, "You know what? If I did something wrong, whatever I did not cause or contribute to your injuries." And then he says, "You know what? If I did something wrong and it caused you harm, your injuries really are not that bad." And then to make matters even worse, he said, "You know what? If I did something wrong and caused you harm, guess what, Mr. Patient? You also caused your own injuries." And now during the course of your lawsuit, your lawyer will have an opportunity to question the doctor whom you have sued. And there are a number of key reasons for that. But this is really pre-trial testimony. It's an opportunity for your attorney to lock in the doctor's testimony to learn what he did and why he did it. It's also an opportunity for your attorney to try and make sure and get the doctor to admit that he did something wrong, and there are different strategies to do that. But now, let's go back to the title of this video. Should you be in the room with the doctor, with the doctor's attorney, with your own attorney, when your lawyer questions the doctor? And in almost every single instance, people who want to know whether they should be there, they turn around and say, "You know what? The reason why I want to be there is because I want to look the doctor in the eye when he's answering questions, and I want to make sure that the doctor doesn't lie through his teeth. I want him to realize that I'm watching him, I'm listening, I'm watching exactly what he says." And I will tell you, in almost every single instance, I will tell my client, do not show up for the doctor's deposition. And they're somewhat offended. They're somewhat surprised that I would say something like that. "What do you mean? I have a right to be there." And you know what? Absolutely correct. You do have a right to be there. And you know what? As the person bringing the lawsuit, the litigant, you have an absolute right to participate, and that means you have a right to sit there and to listen. You don't have a right to raise your hand. You don't have a right to say anything in response to any question or answer that's going on. You don't have a right to chime in when the attorneys are arguing and objecting over different questions. You don't have that right. But you do have a right to participate by observing and sitting there and watching. That is your right. And that's why I tell almost every single client, do not show up. And they say, "Why not?" And I say, "I'll tell you why. Because think about how angry and upset and aggravated you are now. Well, now when you listen to the doctor's answers in response to my questions, you are going to get even more livid. You're going to get more upset. You're going to get angrier and angrier every single time you think that the doctor is lying in response to a question. And that will get you extremely frustrated. And you'll have to sit there and just grin and bear it. You may have steam coming out of your ears. You may want to jump up out of your seat and shake the doctor and say, "What are you talking about?" Or something along those lines. And we don't want this getting physical, and I don't want to get you all aggravated and all upset. So what I do suggest is, listen, do not come to the deposition. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help your blood pressure. But here's what we will do. After the doctor's deposition is over, the court stenographer who was there to record all of my questions and all of the doctor's answers transcribes all of that and then puts everything into a booklet. So now we have question, answer, and then they will send me, the court stenographer will actually send me the transcript, and now I will make a copy and send it off to you. This way you can read exactly what the doctor said in response to every single question that I asked. And this way, you don't have to deal with the aggravation of being right in front of the doctor the entire time for hours and hours and hours, just getting frustrated and upset and angry. Instead, now you can read this in the comfort and convenience of your own home, and I guarantee you will still get frustrated, but It's a bit different to do it when you're simply reading the transcript compared to sitting in front of the doctor whom you believe was careless. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight of what comes up and what questions injured patients have as the lawsuit process proceeds forward here in the state of New York. You know, I do recognize you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if you have not yet started a lawsuit and your matter did in fact happen here in New York, and you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.